really know what I should talk about, but I'll just tell you basically what my experience was joining the military and with working out. So, growing up, I've always had interest to join the military. Growing up, my idea of fun was setting things on fire and I guess the occasional fight or whatever. I grew up in the area. I grew up in South Jersey. And that's kind of how I lived my life. I wasn't really much of an achiever per se growing up. I didn't really do good in high school. Didn't really do good in school in general. I just didn't really care about it. So anyways, I saw a couple, I think it was in middle school, I had a couple, watched some documentaries on the military. I think like Apache helicopter documentary, like an Army Ranger documentary. And I was like, this is pretty badass. Like, I can see myself doing this. But that really wasn't enough for me to really solidify my mind about by the time I was going to be 18, I would join the military. So, like a lot of veterans, there's usually a catalyst that really gets you to join. And that for me was just, kind of living a shitty life at the age of 20. I was living in a one-bedroom apartment with my mom. Didn't really have much prospects. Obviously, I had no interest in college, but I didn't have the grades to get into college anyways. So, I just didn't really know what to do, and that's kind of what spurred me to join the military. And I wanted that experience to push me professionally and personally as much as possible. So I wanted to sign for a Ranger contract to go an actual Ranger battalion. That wasn't available. So I signed up as an infantryman, went to airborne school, did all that. Really changed my life. I mean, from the training, my life was completely changed. I think some people thrive. Some people, there are some people in this world that if you yell at them and you do these types of things, it doesn't affect them. But for me, going through hell positively affected my life, my well-being. It's kind of weird, but so just training alone was a positive impact on me. But also, when I would later deploy and really feel the conditions of an austere environment and, experiencing some of the pretty shitty and awesome emotions of deployment. So that was just kind of a further way of me developing myself, mainly personally. I only was in the military for about 3 years, 19 weeks, 3 days. And,
not that you're counting.
Yeah, not that I'm counting or ever was counting ever. But post-military benefits are so great for those of you who are veterans. And I wanted to use my GI Bill, and at this point in my life, I was ready to go to school. Somehow, I was never been good at school, but I could at least write essays decently well. And Columbia University at the time was coming up. I kind of had this veterans initiative. They wanted people to come in with really unique life experiences. So I met like professional athletes. I met people who were doing men who had been doing ballet since the age of 5, traveling the entire world. So there's really unique people, and there's a lot of veterans incorporated in that. Finished at Columbia just in May, and now I moved back to the area I grew up in. But I will say that my military experience has allowed for, the things that I consider achievements in my life. I would say that would not be possible without the military. Fitness is also a huge part of that because fitness is another way for me to really push myself mentally and in a personal way. There's something that's really special about that grind, and like really having the discipline to push yourself through things, because that can, because you feel that feeling of shittiness or the suck the most, almost the most in a workout. So when you can get through that in a workout, you can apply it to other parts of life. So that's kind of how I look at it. This place has been great. So yeah, I kissed my ass for a tournament here. I'm sure I'll kick my ass today. So it'll suck in the moment when I go home tonight. I'll sleep with a body high, completely natural body high. Maybe if I drink a few beers, I'll feel that. And that's how I look at it. So we should work the hell out, get sweaty together. Oh, yeah.